So the Bible says that at that place, a snake is hanging from his hand, and they began to murmur to each other, this man must be a murderer. This jacked me up, man of God. This bothered me, because as my brother, if I saw a snake hanging from your hand, I wouldn't run to my sister to go gossip. I would actually run to you. What do you do when people can see you going through, but they don't run to help you? They run to gossip about you. The Bible says, watch this. It says instead of helping Paul, they began to murmur to each other that this man, he must be a murderer. He must have done something wrong. And if I'm talking to anybody right now, you've got family members that are standing back looking at you. They're standing back laughing at you. They're standing back talking about you instead of trying to help you. You've got church folks that instead of praying for you, they're saying, well, you know, she only going through that because, you know, in 1982, girl, when we was in high school, they're going all the way back to stuff that doesn't even apply to the situation that God has you in for his glory. And the Bible says that they began, watch this, they began talking to each other and saying he must have done something wrong, because even though he escaped the sea, you see, we know he escaped the sea because of God's glory on his life. But they're trying to say he only escaped it, but God is still getting ready to deal with him. Isn't that just like the critics of your life?
That's right.
And the Bible says, watch this. They say, but the goddess justice has not allowed him to live. But watch this. The Bible says, but Paul shook it off. And that's a word for somebody's life right now. If you are to survive the accusations, the pain, the lies, the rumors, you've got to get to a place where you don't even answer your critics. You just learn how to shake it off. The Bible says, watch this. It says that he could hear what they were saying, but he shook the snake off into the fire and he suffered no ill effects. Can I tell you something? You might be going through hell, but I prophesy to you right now, you shall suffer no ill effects. This is what it means to go into the fire, but come out with no smoke. You see, whenever God does not stop the fire, it's because he wants to put you in display in the fire. Somebody better open up their mouth and say, it's all been for God's glory. The Bible says, watch this. But Apostle Paul, he shook the snake off into the fire, and he himself suffered no ill effects. And watch this. And it says the people expected him to swell up. Can I tell you something? You're already living past people's expectations. See, you're upset about what you're going through. You're upset about what you've been through, but you don't even understand that you are living beyond their expectations. You've already lived beyond the time frame that they've given you. You've already lived beyond. They didn't expect you to survive this. They said that you would lose your mind. They said that you would throw in the towel. They said that you would give up and walk away. But that's why you ought to have a made up mind that no matter what you go through in this life, you still won't lose your worship. You still won't lose your praise. You still will not lose your conviction in God. You got to show up even when you don't feel like it. You got to keep on trusting God when it looks like you shouldn't. The Bible says that he shook it off. And watch this, is that the people expected him to swell up or suddenly fall dead. But after waiting, somebody said after waiting. After waiting a long time, this is why they visit your Facebook page, man of God. They've been waiting and watching a long time. After they heard, wait a minute, now that was 6 months ago, and she's still praising God. That was a year ago, and they're still moving. That was a year ago, and they're still going strong. You see, every now and again, God will gather an audience just so they can watch you survive.